So hi guys.
We're back, and it's Sunday. Well, it's Sunday for us.
Yeah. One day
Not
you'll
for
see
you.
it.
So how was everyone's week?
As you can tell that we got a little bit better with our
We're slowly getting there.
yeah. We're just trying to figure out if this is what we're really gonna do, and if it is, then obviously we'll get better equipment. But as of right now, we stepped up from the last podcast. My camera's working, we got our mics, and we got a ring light.
Well,
For some reason, I woke up this morning, literally woke up, looked at my phone, got up to go to the bathroom, and then I went in the kitchen for something, and I just started cleaning. I cleaned the whole kitchen, and then my boyfriend, he came out, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I am. I don't know why. I just felt like cleaning, and he literally thought something was wrong with me.
really?
So I just got up and I just started cleaning. But
That's funny.
so
Yeah,
the
Emerson
kitchen-
got up earlier than me. I
Yeah, what
slept
time
till
did you wake up?
1:30.
I slept until 11, so it's not that bad. But she also woke up.
Jalen's, my boyfriend, spent the night, and he had to get up for work. So like, I got up with him, and then I hit my Benjamin. And I learned I can't do that unless I'm actually up because I slept for another 4 hours.
I'm gonna go back in on our life.
Like, kind of go back from what our first podcast
Yeah.
was. But I feel like a lot
But more
happened
in
this
depth.
week. Like, in Michigan, we had, like, Snowmageddon, and everything shut down except, like, main
It was
stuff.
also with all that, silly. It was literally like 4 degrees.
Yeah,
below.
-3.
Yeah,
It was
literally
terrible.
4 degrees and below for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And we got a whole bunch of snow. It was literally awful. And then it like would warm up and then it would get cold. Warm up, I mean like to 15 degrees.
20.
Then it got like really slushy.
Yeah, well, when it first snowed, like, it snowed during the day, so, like, it packed down the snow. And then after that, it was such wet snow that was, when it was snowing, that it made just a sheet of ice.
It was like the roads were like plowed, but it was just like it was literally just snow.
Yeah, it was so bad.
So no stopping, no accelerating, literally just slipping 24/7.
Yeah, you basically just had to like kind of cruise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, bad.
So yeah,
I got my nose pierced.
Oh yeah.
I became a big
that.
girl. And I got my nose.
So now we're just slowly becoming even more like literally if you like would see the things that we have, the things that we do, like we're literally the same person.
I feel like we both had a pretty laid back weekend.
Yeah, what did I even do this week?
It was my niece's second birthday on Wednesday, so we had her birthday party, and that's really all I did.
I mean nothing.
Yeah, I don't think you left.
I did anything. I worked out 2 days this week. Oh, it was my boyfriend's birthday on Tuesday. So I celebrated his birthday. Well, we did most of the stuff on the Monday before his birthday because we didn't know if we were going to be able to do anything on Tuesday. But then we got a whole bunch of snow and cold. So everything was canceled. So I was actually able to spend his birthday with him, which was nice. But we just went out to eat. He opened his presents. We went shopping. Just the normal
birthday essentials
stuff. Yeah, so it was really nice. And I decorated my room on his birthday. Just when I first moved to Grand Rapids and was going to school, I literally probably maybe kissed one boy. So I literally probably kissed one boy when I came down here. And it was just, I was scared of boys at that time in my life. I like just didn't know how to interact with them because where I'm from, literally boys are disgusting there, so I didn't talk to anyone in high school.
So let me go add to that. So during the time of her coming down for school, before we even met, I was in a long-term relationship with someone from high school, and she was single.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she came down, met the ex that we were talking about in the last video, and then slowly we all became friends.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, we both ended up dumping / leaving our old relationships within a day of each other. Yeah. Okay, wait, yeah. Okay, so you broke up with your ex, right?
Yeah.
I was still with my ex at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then months go by, and I stayed in that relationship way too long. And then you got the other boy, and that's when we both got dumped at the same time. And that's when we looked at each other and we're like, this is going to be bad.
Yeah. So pretty much that happened. And the guy I was talking to was on the boys' basketball team. So after we broke up. It was like I still saw him. So that was awesome.
But like, instead of like, okay, so like the girls and the boys rode the bus together. And instead of the boys like stopped talking to us because of the whole breakup with her,
Yeah.
they stopped talking to him
Yeah.
and like kept talking to us.
And the other thing was like, so I don't even know how to go about this, but there was this boy on the team, and the boy I was talking to, obviously, and this guy just like was talking to me, but I didn't like know what was going on. So I started talking to this other guy, and obviously I ended up dating him. And then the other guy got mad because he was like, "Wow, you chose him over me," and I was like, "Yep." And both of you guys are girls, so I don't know why I chose him, but it really was just, I don't even know.
It was definitely an experience of our life.
It was. I'm glad I went through it because that was my first mixed boyfriend. Let me just go there. And I knew I liked black guys from literally when I was in high school, but like there's no black guys up north, so I was, So this was just kind of my first interaction. So I was all about it. I was like, okay, let's do this. And it lasted a month, and I hated every second of it.
And he was pretty gross.
He was gross.
Both of them were pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But when you're young, fresh 18-year-olds.
No, I'm definitely glad I experienced it because obviously that's why I am here today. But it's just, it was just something. And the year went on, and then I went back home and I started talking to this other guy from Tinder, and it was just kind of a summer fling. I was talking to him still like the first couple of months of the second year, and then it ended up fizzling out. It's just we weren't really compatible. Into our 2-man era, I wouldn't say, when you think of a 2-man, you think of the worst, but it really, like, it was bad.
It was more like double date.
It was more double dates.
Yeah.
Like, we went on 2-mans, and it was just, I don't even know how to explain it. It was definitely an experiment in our life.
Yeah, and so the first one we went on, it was like, I'm freshly single for the first time in 3 years. Haven't been single since I was like freaking 15 years old. So I'm like, we're going to hang out with these guys. I can't say that actually. Anyway, where was I?
Anywho, we're back.
Anyway, so that's kind of where it all started. We hung out with those two probably way too many times that we needed to. And nothing even happened between either of them.
No,
like, it was more like friends. That's kind of where it all started.
Yeah.
And then, like, it would be...
So then I had this friend that was a boy, but I was really close with him, and I knew kind of was more just of a friendship type of thing. He came over to the house, and so then that was like the first time I found out with him, and I was like, yeah, this is more of a friendship type of thing. But then we were like, this is when Alyssa was single too, so I was like, we need to, like, you should try to get, like, I was kind of taking one for the team for Alyssa. I was like, you need to find someone.
Right.
So
and like, my kiss count at the time was 1.
Yeah.
Like, I needed to get that up.
So that was the first time we hung out, like, all of us, and I was like, okay, this is fun. So then I was like, you should try to get one of your friends and you guys should come over. This is a different time. So my friend, and he brought one of his friends over, and we just kind of hung out. It was kind of really awkward.
Yeah.
But because this was like only the second time I hung out with this guy.
Yeah.
So let's just sum this story up. So I ended up really, really, I don't even know how to explain this. In that night, I ended up that I was like, yeah, this is a friendship.
Yep.
But the guy didn't think that.
He took it the other way.
So pretty much,
Tilly,
let's just say our kiss count went up that night, but did we enjoy it?
No.
So
did not.
That's that.
And we've had like a few stories. Like there was a 2-man that was more set up for me.
Yeah.
I feel like that friend of ours, because then I became really good friends with him.
And I love him as a friend. Like I'm not trying to put him down, but that's where
just how it went. And what was I saying?
I don't remember.
Oh, so there was a night that same friend brought one guy over, came, we both looked at each other and we're like,
oh,
he brought that friend home and picked up another friend.
Literally went and picked up a different guy because I was like, this he ain't it.
Yeah, literally, we tried. We made TikToks with that one.
Yep.
And
the next one, I think was this our last one. Okay,
I feel like
really bad. Let's just put it.
Yeah, we sound like terrible people.
We sound like terrible people.
But you have to like listen to, because you would do the same thing.
We were talking to these guys, like Tinder guys.
Yeah.
After that situation, we were talking to these Tinder guys,
and this is like the guy that I'm talking to is white, and throughout all my 2-mans, I realized, not for me. Yeah. White guys are not for me.
So we were talking to these guys, Tinder guys, and they were just kind of like, I've hung out with this guy for probably like 6 months, and it was just, I couldn't see myself dating him, but at the same time, I didn't have anyone else, so I just kind of stuck around. But like, it sounds awful, but I'm really not that kind of person. So
it was never like, okay, both of the men took it as something very serious.
Yeah.
And both of us took it as not so serious. And that's where we messed up. Because as we are talking to these men, we are also
so kind
going
of her situation was the same thing as my situation.
Literally the exact same.
Literally, like we were hanging out with these guys, but we both kind of knew that we didn't really like them, but we were just kind of hanging out. And I wasn't even doing anything with this guy. It was more just like the comfort, like I didn't have anyone else, so I was just like kind of sticking around this guy. So as we were with those guys, we ended up wanting to hang out with some other guys. And
my grandma goes to Florida for like a month, and I still lived at home and she lived at her grandma's house, so we didn't really have a place to like go. So my grandma was like, if you ever want to go there, you know where the key is. And I texted her, I was like, hey, do you mind if me and my friend kind of hang out at the house, stay the night, we'll make sure it's clean? She's like, yeah, go for it. So we're drinking, right?
Yeah.
Don't underage drink, but we were drinking, and our stupid selves were like, hey, let's invite so and so over. And he comes over.
At this time, these boys, we were like, they were both on the boys basketball team, so we were both like close with them.
Yeah,
close with them.
Yeah.
So,
and it was like, all those 2-mens were never to like date.
Yeah, one of them, not really, but like we knew of him, so it was fine. It wasn't like awkward,
right? So we invited, because he was a friend of both of ours.
Yeah.
So we invite. This is a different friend. Mm-hmm. We invited this guy on the basketball team over to hang out. I don't even know how it happened. And so he came over, we're all hanging out, and he's like, hey, what do you think of this guy? And I'm like, I mean, he's super sweet, kind of quiet, doesn't really talk. He's like, well, he's on his way over. And I was like, awesome, here we go. But it was fun. But
yeah, it was a really fun night. Next morning, me and Alyssa literally slept together that night.
Yep.
We locked the door, locked them out.
And as like we're hanging out, listening to music, drinking, playing games, like both of our guys we were talking to blowing up our phones.
Yeah,
blowing. I think I missed 56 phone calls from this person, and I was like, nope. So the next morning, we're dealing with all this. Both the guys that were over were like,
what's going on?
Okay, ready? Like they knew, like, oh gosh.
And me and Alyssa both thought like, oh, they'll probably be gone before we wake up.
Right.
These men literally
waited till we got up.
Waited till we got up, and they literally came into the room and they just talked to us.
Yes.
When we were both laying in there, we were just like, Alyssa, we want them to leave. Like,
I was like, I'm gonna wait to get up to go to the bathroom till they leave. Yeah. No,
they just had to come into the room, and they literally just talked to us for 45 minutes. I swear, and that was that.
Yeah, and then that same day, the next day, I ended up instead of texting Emerson, I texted the person I was talking to saying,
yeah, what'd you say?
I can't believe I kissed another guy. And it went to him instead of Emerson, and he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, about that. So that's that. And now, did you meet LJ or I meet Jalen first?
You were talking to Jalen first.
Yeah.
So you guys were dating for like a couple months before I even met LJ.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're back. So where was I? Oh, so in the summer when Emerson was back home, I was still on the dating apps, trying, but it wasn't going well. Then on Hinge, I met my boyfriend now. And I feel like it was so random. Like I didn't tell her I was hanging out with him. Like no one.
Yeah. Well, you told me that you were on a dating app.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you were just sending me these guys. I was like, oh, what's that? This is not gonna, like, what is gonna happen?
So it was like, he was like the sweetest thing. So I was like, I'm gonna have him over because my parents were gone. They were up north. So he came over, and that, I didn't tell Emerson he was over, nothing. It was like, he just came over, we just chatted, hung out, and he left, and I sent Emerson a video, and I was like, I just hung out with this guy, Emerson, and he's the one. Like, I'm not even kidding you, that's exactly how it went.
Yeah.
And Emerson was like, who? What do you mean?
Yeah, I was
so I
like,
sent him pictures, and she was like, wait a second. And so that's just kind of how we met, and here we are today.
Yeah, so that's that. So then when I came down,
and at this time I was like, oh, you need to find a boyfriend. Like we were trying to hook her up with one of his friends.
So before I met my boyfriend now, we tried to set up this date. And keep in mind that her boyfriend is 4 years older than me.
Like 4.5 older than me.
Yeah.
Years older.
So his friends are also that age. So we decided to go on a date with him and one of his friends. And I would just say I'm not into older men. Let me just say that.
That's where we are different.
Yeah. It's just like, I feel like I can't be myself. And maybe if I were to get to know him more, like I would feel more comfortable, but like it was just so awkward for me. And I'm glad we did it. Like he was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
I loved it, but it was just
we were trying anything.
Yeah. So I was like, Alyssa, no, can't do it. And then he was just Snapchatting me, and he was just like,
hi.
Yeah. I was just
like old man energy.
No, literally old man. Like I was like, do you know how to use Snapchat? Like I was like, the things he was sending me, he was like using fonts and like filters, and I was like,
it was bad. Like I'll admit, like it was pretty icky.
And I would send the stuff to Alyssa, and then Jalen, and they would just both just like laugh. They were like, oh my God, what is he doing? So then after that, I was on Tinder and I came across LJ. We matched. We both weren't going to swipe right on each other, but we both ended up swiping right. Ended up hanging out with him.
I don't remember you hanging out. The funny thing is like you never told, like,
I didn't tell anyone.
No, it's like the same thing.
Yeah. I didn't tell anyone except for one of my friends. She went with me to go meet him because she had a friend that went to the same college as him. So we kind of went there together, and I ended up hanging out with him. Mm-hmm. And then literally after I met him, hung out with him every weekend after that. Literally every weekend.
The days we met our boyfriends, both of us removed all dating apps. And normally we'd meet guys and be like, I'm not getting rid of it. Like still swiping. And like something was different about these two.
Yeah. So pretty much I hung out with him at his school, and then the day after I was sitting in the living room with my roommates at the time, and I was like, guys, I literally want to have him over here. So he literally came over that night, and like I said, we've been together.
History.
Yeah, been together ever since. We've been together for a year and 2 months? Almost 3 months. So crazy. Literally crazy.
Crazy. But that's kind of our boy situation and how we got to where we are.
Yeah.
It happens when you're not looking, I promise.
Yes. No, literally.
Because I was like, no way, shape, and form ready for a relationship. And then you meet
Quite
someone and
literally.
you're like,
Okay, let me go turn over my steak real quick, guys.
she's making steak. And now those boys basically frickin' live here. After this, I'm going to eat a big fat ass bowl of ice cream with cookies. And no one could tell me no.
Okay.
I know she's going to hear this when she edits it, but... Okay, she's back.
Talking shit, guys. So did my nails today. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, that's
They're white
better.
chrome.
White chrome.
Before the Fun Valentine's nails. Mine are pink.
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 I think that's all we got. Is that all that was in the notebook?
That is all for today.
That's so exciting. I feel like this is going to be a lot better than the first one. I'm excited to watch it.
Me too.
And our first one, just bear with us. That's all I'm going to say. If you watched it, I hope it wasn't too much. You guys enjoyed. And
We'll see you next week.
we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Period.
Period, Pookies. We love you.